Hello, my name is Rebecca Suerdieck. I'm a 17th century living history interpreter, and today I'll be demonstrating how to make cheese on an open fire. I've got about a half a gallon of milk here in the bucket, and I'm going to go ahead and pour it into the copper pot. Alright, I've got about a half a gallon of whole milk in a copper pot here. I've got my hook ready to hang it over the fire. You want to make sure that you're kind of off to the side with it. You don't want it directly over the fire because you want to raise the temperature of the milk slowly. If you have a thermometer, it should be about 175 degrees. If you don't have a thermometer, you can actually start to smell the milk smell. And there starts to be a film on the top of the milk, kind of like a skin, with you'll start to see air bubbles rising to the top and making a nice dancing formation on the top surface of the milk. And I'll show you what that looks like when we get to that point. On a loose fire like this, it will take maybe 20-30 minutes. I'm not going anywhere and I'm going to keep my eye on it. Alright, it's been about 20 minutes. And our milk is starting to get a skin across the top, and I want you to see what that looks like in case you don't have a thermometer. Either way, it should be about 175 degrees. But when you see that skin with those straight lines that kind of dance, that means it's ready. Take it off the heat and put it over here where I can see what it's doing. Oh, it's smoking. All right, we're going to add your acid. You can use lemon juice, you can use juice, you can use cheap vinegar that you've either made or got from the grocery store. I'm adding about a half a cup, and I'm just going to pour it in. Pour it in, give it one simple stir, and you will see it starts to curdle right away, separating the curds from the white. See, it's already on the spoon. We're going to let it sit here for about 15 minutes. And then we're going to strain it, and I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. Alright, it's been maybe 15-20 minutes since we took the milk off the heat and added the vinegar. So what I'm going to do is just line a pot, this one really doesn't matter, with a clean cotton cloth. You can use cheesecloth, you can also use a fine muslin or just a cheap linen. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. I'm actually using a cotton flour sack towel. Works just fine. And they're pre-hemmed, so that makes it easy. So I'm just going to line it with this, make a little bowl here. What we're going to do is separate the curds from the whey. I'm just going to take this. It's still a little hot, but not too hot to touch. I'm going to pour it in here, because what we want is the cheese and not the liquid. Some people might want the liquid for other purposes, but that's not our purpose today. So we're going to pour it, separating the curds from the whey. Ooh, pretty clean. And again, this doesn't actually touch the other container. Taking all four corners up like that. And it's going to drip probably, I don't know, the next 20 minutes or so. You can also wring it out. It helps speed it up. What I'm going to do is hang it over here on this little tripod that our blacksmith made. And I put a bucket underneath to drain all the whey that's draining off. And every now and again I'll give it a little ring. In the meantime, I'm going to cut up some fresh herbs that we'll use to flavor the cheese. Alright, so the cheese has been draining in the muslin cloth about an hour. You can squeeze it and see there's really nothing coming out of it. I want you to see what it looks like after about an hour. We have this beautiful ball of cheese, and we're going to mix it here with the fresh herbs from our kitchen garden, which you can see has the texture of the muslin cloth and the cheese, and we're just going to put it over here. But it pretty much coagulates into one solid clump, and I'm just going to salvage what I can from the cloth. So you might think because we're using vinegar as the acid that your cheese is going to have a vinegar flavor. It actually doesn't. I've tried this with lemon juice and vinegar. You don't taste the lemon and you don't taste the vinegar, but I do find that the vinegar makes a creamier, thicker cheese. This can be flavored sweet. For a dessert, you can put sugar on it, vanilla extract or rose water, which would be the colonial version. Sugar. You can mix it with an egg and make like a cheesecake custard, but you have to bake it if you do that. We're flavoring it savory today with some herbs from our garden. We're going to use it to spread on our bread later.